Hello, welcome to episode 4 of Birdsong Knits. My name is Elaine. Thank you for being here. I'm looking forward to spending some time with you, talking about knitting, crochet, what I've been working on lately, what I've finished, and what I'm dreaming of making. And I also have some book chat, and I'll talk a little bit about what I did recently. I did some nitty fun things. So that will be my life update today if you want to stick around for that. But I'll start with the knitting so that we can, so that if you're here for that nitty and crochet goodness, we'll do it right up front. So I'll start with finished projects. Last episode, episode 3, I had a lot of new projects. I had cast on so many new things and I was feeling a bit overwhelmed by how many I had. But I think I made some good progress and resolved quite a few of those in the time since that last episode. So I'm looking forward to sharing my finished objects with you. Let's start first with the Ice Cream Week socks. So the ice cream, these, I call them my ice cream socks, but these are from Sock Week with Nitty Natty podcast. She hosted Sock Week July 20th through July 27th. It's over now, but the goal was to knit one single sock in 7, I think it counts as 8 days because you can knit both Sundays. So here's 1 and 2. So Nitty Natty also had some like sponsored items that that you could purchase and use during Sock Week: yarns, bags, and accessories. I only purchased yarn, and I was really excited to find this yarn because it was only a total of 70 grams. It was a 50-gram mini skein of this self-striping, which it was self-striping. I was like, I'm in. And then when I saw there was an option for a 50-gram mini with a 50-gram skein with a 20-gram mini, I was all about that because the really nice thing is I don't have much left over. I'm just grabbing my leftovers here. So I wrote this down. I have 8 grams left of the main color. I do have little minis tucked everywhere, like leftovers, scraps tucked everywhere. And then I had 6 left of this. So it looks bigger because it's wound differently, but that worked out really well. So I used 56 grams of the 70-gram set, and I typically use about 55 grams. So how perfect to, actually I will say, oops, that's not true. I think I use into the 60s sometimes because this is a little bit shorter than I would typically do. I do like a little bit longer sock. That being said, I put these on and I do like them a lot, and I like the length of the cuff just fine. So it's not what I typically knit, but I was really happy with it. I just didn't want to run out of yarn. I probably could have done it and gotten a few more repeats of this blueberry waffle pattern, but better safe than sorry with a top-down sock. So as I just mentioned, the pattern I did is blueberry waffle socks. It's one of my go-to patterns. It's a broken rib. I think it's free. So it's a lovely pattern. It fits really nice. Hugs your foot. I've talked about it before. The yarn is Polka Dot Creek self-striping sock set. It's called Banana Split with a Waffle Cone colorway. So the reason I was calling it my ice cream socks is because the theme of Sock Week was ice cream and everything. All of the sponsored items were ice cream theme, and then if you didn't want to purchase anything, you could still use your own ice cream themed, like let's say you already had sock yarn in your stash that was ice cream theme, you could use it, or an ice cream themed pattern or stitch markers that you already had and all that. So it was fun. Happy with that. Why do these look so different when I'm holding them up? Are they the same size? Yeah, they are. Okay, just checking. Checking, did I do this wrong? I always count. Sometimes my second sock does look longer, and I feel like this one is looking just a touch longer. I think it evens out when I'm wearing it, but my gauge will change a little bit on the second sock. I'm like relaxing or something into the pattern. I don't know. I use I always use size 0 needles on my socks, US 0, and I use 64 stitches. Oh yeah, and I put a pop of color at the top of these. So this actually is the mini. It kind of blends in because it turned out to be the same size. It looks like each of the stripes is 4 rows, and I did 3 rows at the top, so it kind of looks like just another one of the stripes. But that actually is the mini color. So I did the pop of color at the top, and then the heels and the toes in the mini color. Yeah, everything else is in my pattern, my project page, sorry, on Ravelry, which I'll link below. I put my notes in there about how many repeats I do of everything and how many rows on the ribbing and all of that stuff. I'd like to keep track of it for future projects and for you in case you want to, yeah, copy that. All right, so that's finished object number 1. Finished object number 2 is what I'm calling my Mindy socks. These are for a friend named Mindy. Oh, I love these socks so much. I think she's really gonna love these because if they were mine, I would love them. The yarn is lovely. The fit, the feel, oh, they just feel amazing. I'm obsessed with this yarn. I talk about it in every episode, so I'll try not to go on about it too much. Here's a little close-up. Blueberry waffles again. So I did another pop of color, 3 rows at the top. This is Cricket's Fibers. The red one is Crimson Confetti. It's kind of red. I don't know what color you would call that. Pinkish reddish, like a pale red. And the purple... Okay, so it came as a mini skeins. It came as a sock set, and I don't know what color the mini is. But this is called Crimson Confetti. And it's Cricket's Fibers. I'm not sure if I said that. And I did blueberry waffles again. So that ice cream sock I did during that ice cream sock week, I did both of them that week. So that project was started on July 20th and finished on July 27th. I finished it like that evening. Halfway through the week, I had gotten sidetracked on other things. I'm sorry. Jumping back to my ice cream socks. I got sidetracked with some other things, and I thought I was not going to finish both socks by the end. You only need to finish one, but I wanted to finish both. And Sunday I was like, you know what? I think actually I can do this. So I pulled it off. This one, the Mindy socks, I started July 10th and finished July 30th. These got put on the back burner a couple of times, but she's been out of town on a summer vacation, and I will see her on Thursday of this week, so I finished them in plenty of time. And for this sock, I used 63 grams. So I feel like that's probably more normal because that looks like a typical cuff for me. So it's 1, 2, I think it's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's actually 12 repeats of the blueberry waffle pattern. So I had a tangle when I was winding, so I did split these into 2 cakes. Not for any, I didn't knit them in tandem or anything, which is a little, I don't love it because then I have this teeny, I have 2 scraps. And I guess I would just rather they were together so I could use them for a project, but it doesn't really matter. So I have quite a bit of left of that. I have 48 grams left. I could basically, I could for sure make another sock, right? I could, I just make it cuff shorter. Thinking. And then this, I would have to use another mini skein to do heels, cuffs, and toes because this, I only have 5 grams left of the mini. All right. I didn't show you these before. This is the Cricket's Fibers label. I always put links. I put links to my Ravelry projects, and I always put the yarn and information in my Ravelry project. But I'm showing this anyway, just in case you wanted. There's the Crimson Confetti. The mini and And it's 80% super, it's an 80-20, 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. So that was for the Mindy socks. And I do have the Polka Dot Creek label as well for the self-striping ice cream socks. I'll get into a rhythm where I do this at the right time. And that was the 75-25 superwash. Okay, those are 2 of my finished objects. The third one doesn't really count, but I'm finished with it, so I'm gonna count it. So these are my crochet socks. I did talk about this before. I had this last time. So this was my first attempt at crocheted socks. My cousin and I wanted to both try crocheting socks. She is like, she only crochets. She knows how to knit. She's done it before. But her craft of choice is crochet, and she's never made socks. And I had just been thinking around the same time I was enjoying a lot of crochet, and I was like, oh, I want to crochet socks too. Didn't have huge success, but I feel like I'm actually close to being successful, and probably if I kept going, I could succeed. But I'm going to call it here for right now. So this is not finished. These are my two attempts, and I'm going to call it good for now. So this was the Herringbone Socks by Ashley Schumacher. The pattern was unclear for me as a new crochet sock maker. I didn't understand where we were going with the pattern, and so I needed a different pattern that had more information, basically. Like I needed my hand held, so I understood where we were in the sock and the construction and all of that. I just needed like more detail. Not that there was anything wrong with the pattern, so I did stop. I will also say I think this was probably running a little bit, no, this was too tight. It would not have fit me because this sock is also too tight. And look at this. So it's hard, a little bit hard to tell, but it's smaller for sure. Okay, so I put that aside, and my cousin and I agreed we would switch patterns to one with more information about just some more hand holding. And we switched to, I found a YouTube tutorial for this, which was the appeal of it because we have a video and we have a pattern. And it's called the Basic Crochet Socks, I think. And it's by Olga Poltava. I actually found the pattern on Etsy. I didn't seek it out on Ravelry, and I didn't see a link to it on her YouTube under her video. I only saw the link to the Etsy, so I don't know if she has it on Ravelry or not. It's the Basic Crochet Socks. There's a video that we followed plus the written pattern. Okay, so this was also toe up. I have yet to find a crochet sock that's top down. It's a circular toe, and then, it takes like this long. It's not even the full dark color up here. It's not this section. You're done with the increases even before that. It's very quick. Is that true? It doesn't look like that's true. Looks like they finish right there, right? Because of the slope. Oh, maybe that's true. And then, yeah, I think that is true, but I was comparing it to like a knit sock, and that's still quite a bit less. So like by the time you're done with this reddish purple, look how much more, sorry if you can hear that. My son is home today with a fever. Look how much more toe there is on the knit sock. And I did notice that when I was putting it on because there was a bit of bagginess over by, so like by my big toe it fits fine, and then by my baby toe it does not fit fine. It's baggy. There's too much space there because I've increased too quickly and my foot doesn't need that much there. So that was my feeling. And then this feels good. Good. Nope, it's too tight, like right around here. So this last piece, I would have been increasing there. It was just a straight tube. There was no increases whatsoever. And you can tell by looking at it, right? It's just straight. There's no increases there. So right around here it gets really tight, like so tight. It's difficult to put on and it's uncomfortable to wear. Yeah, fits great here. Then the heel flap construction was great. I would have made it bigger. I think the heel flap needed to be longer for me. And then this section was great. Let's say this was fine. But then you crochet straight from here. So you've got all those increases from the heel, right? You've got significantly more stitches. I think it was 14 more stitches than for the foot here at the ankle. I need it for like a teensy bit there. Like maybe this purple stripe, I needed that many. But the rest of my ankle is much smaller. My ankle is smaller than like my instep area, right? So she had you crochet straight with all those extra stitches for 2 inches and then decrease suddenly and then knit the ribbing. That's huge on my ankle. all that space up here, I needed it down here, like the 2 inches here. And when I'm knitting top down, that's how it goes with a traditional heel and gusset, right? So I would do straight through here, increase, do my heel flap, and then you have the increase right here, and then it's taking about 2 inches to decrease it. This would be interesting. I haven't held it up against this sock. Okay, let's see what it looks like. So, lengthwise, it's the same. Crochet sock might be a little longer. The width almost looks similar. It looks the same. Look at that up here, doesn't it? I have to think for a second. My brain is thinking about that. The area where it's not the same, look at this. Right there in that gusset area, my instep, I needed that extra space. So I'm kind of wondering if this is the same right here. Is it just because I finished it there? She actually had to do 1 more inch of ribbing. Maybe if that 1 more inch of ribbing would have cinched it more around my foot, and it would have been fine that the heel was bigger like that. Possibly. But I was like 1 inch into the ribbing, and I tried it on my foot and it was just so loose. I have pictures, I'll show it. I was like, I'm not gonna do any more ribbing. This is just a waste of my yarn and time. This is so big up there. So then I decided to put crochet socks away for now. It's just not something I'm going to do right now. So, okay. So I'm calling that finished. It's not really finished. I don't have a pair of socks to wear, but I am finished with it. So, okay, next. This is a brand new project and a finished project. I will talk about this in Life Update, but my cousin and I went to some yarn shops, and one of the things I got was yarn to make a baby blanket. Well, I wanted to make a kid-size blanket for the Lurie Children's Hospital in Chicago. I talked before about doing that. I want to donate at least 6 items to the Lurie Children's Hospital in honor of my son Matthew, who passed away and would have been 6 this year. So this is technically it's number 2. It's the second item finished, because my third one I'm still working on. You guys, I love this. This yarn is so soft and fluffy. So let me tell you the stats really quickly. I'm going to show it to you. So this is the Bubbles Baby Blanket pattern. I love it. I love the stitch so much. It was so easy. It's a 1-row repeat. Very fun. By Deneen St. Armour. The yarn is James C. Brett Marble Chunky This colorway is MC117. I used about 2.5 skeins. And I crocheted it on an M hook, 9mm. The finished dimensions of my blanket is 36 inches by 40 inches. That was not my intended size. I wanted it bigger, but that's how it goes sometimes. I started this on July 26th and I finished on July 30th. It was so fast and so fun. And I was making myself go slow because I had other projects I needed to work on. So I only allowed myself to put 1 skein in per day. So how that adds up to 4 days, I don't know, but I didn't say 1 skein per day. I said you can do 1 skein. Then you have to finish another project. That was the ice cream socks. Then you can do 1 skein, and then you have to finish another project. That was the Mindy socks. And then I did the half skein, and I was like, this is as big as I should go, because if I had put in the full 3rd skein, and I had actually bought 4 skeins, if I put in all 4, it would be so long, like it would look skinny and long. So that was not the look I was going for. I initially wanted this for kid size, which would have been, I think the width should have been more like 40 plus inches, 42, something like that. And this turned out to be only 36. The pattern has you chain like 60 something, and I did 80 something to take it from a baby to hopefully a kid size, but it turned out, I think I'm going to call this toddler size, the 36 by 40. So not sure how to show you this whole thing. I guess I could put in my Ravelry pictures to give you some better ideas. Of course, the project is linked below, so you could go there and look there too. It's soft and squishy. I love the pattern. I love the yarn. It was a great combination. It was a fun project. It checked all the boxes. This yarn was $15 a ball, and it had something like 300 something yards. So I thought that was pretty good. It is acrylic, and that's what I want for charity knitting, right? Or crochet. Because I want whoever gets this, just imagine I was there at the yarn shop, which I'll talk about that more later. But I was there at the yarn shop and I saw this and I was like, yes, I really want to make a blanket for a little girl. My whole family has boys, and so sometimes I get excited about the girl things when thinking of other people. So super happy with it. And it's really soft. And this is, I know it's in the name, but it's chunky yarn. So that's why I went so fast. That big M hook, and it just cruised on. Okay, that's it for that. Then I had that extra half skein, so I made a hat. Also for charity, for Lurie Children's Hospital. I chained for the children's medium, which was 6 to 10 years old. It fits my head. It's a little bit short, but it basically fits me. So as I mentioned before, they have kids up to 18 at the Lurie Children's Hospital. So I'll just put on there like maybe 10 plus. I meant to try it on my son and see how it fits him. He's 8. I bet it would fit him just fine. I feel like heads are more like than you think. Like by the time the kid is 6, it's like basically as an adult head. It's not exactly true, but it's close. And there's ribbing in this, and if there's ribbing in whatever hat, it just seems very flexible hat-wise. So this is the Winter Sky hat by Rhonda Mole, and that's Umbaka Designs. And again, this was the James C. Brett Marble Chunky yarn, acrylic, in the color MC117. I used 0.37 skeins, 124 yards, 73 grams. And I used an H hook, which is 5 millimeter for the brim, and then a J for the rest of the hat, which is 6 millimeters. So the brim is technically twice this length, this width, and I ended up folding it and tacking it in because when I put it on my head, I felt like the brim was like this much, everything you could see. So like if I put it on, you would just see that brim, and it wasn't, I mean, it's just single crochet. I don't know. Wasn't the exciting part of the hat. So I folded it up and pinned it down because I felt like it was long enough even this way that I could wear it comfortably. Um, don't you think? And this, it's covering my ear. So I did have to kind of just set it on, like tug it down a little bit, but once there's like enough stretch here, it fits very comfortably. So yeah, it fits me as an adult. That's my medium child hat. I do tend to crochet a little bit big. So I probably should have started with the smallest child size and seen what it came out as. But I'm okay with this. I really love it. It's a very comfortable hat. And it's pretty. So hopefully someone loves it. I started on July 30th, finished on July 31st. I'm surprised that's true. I feel like I made it in one day, but it's probably 24 hours. Okay, I think that's everything about the hat. So this is items then 2 and 3 for charity for the Lurie Children's Hospital out of 6. I don't know if I'll do all 6 because I'm going to be getting some from others. There are other people in my family and my friends. My friend right now is crocheting knitting a beautiful baby blanket. It's a solid coral color and it has popcorn stitches. It's really cute. So, and my mom will sew things, and my cousin is crocheting a blanket right now. So there's going to be a lot more than 6. My intention was like, between all of us, we can come up with 6. I'll do one, you do one, but it's definitely going to be more. I just wanted a minimum of 6, so that's great. I might finish after the 4th. And then I was thinking, I have this, I should have gotten it out. I'll get it out for the next episode. I have a baby quilt that I made a long time ago when I tried some quilting with my mom. And I've had that quilt so long, and it's just never felt like the right thing to give it to someone. I think my husband's going to come home, so I'm going to pause it. Yeah, it's just never been the right moment to give it to someone, but it seems like it would be a great number 5. And if I'm going to have 5, then I just need to do 6. So we'll see what I end up doing. Okay. All right. So I'm moving into works in progress. I only have 2 that I'm going to talk about this week. I have 2 others that I will not talk about because I did not work on them, and I am just going to focus on these 2 projects until they're completely done, which should happen in the next week. This first one you haven't seen yet in any of my episodes. I haven't been talking about it because I haven't been working on it. Once I finished all my socks, instead of casting on another sock, I decided to finish this project, and it's just kind of filling my sock void. This is a Musselburgh hat. I'll talk about the needle. The yarn is pretty. I feel like it's looking a little different on screen than I expected. All right, so there's a lot of oohs about this hat, but I still like it. Mostly I like knitting it. So the Musselburgh hat, in case you haven't heard of it, it's by Isolde Teague, and you start at one end of the hat and you knit a cap straight across, extra, and then another cap, and then you fold this end into this end and put it on your head, and ideally fold up a brim. So it's quite long. So the pattern calls for me, based on my size, to knit 19.5 inches from the beginning until I start the crown decreases. That's not what I'm doing because let me come back to that. So when you start this pattern, it's really cool. The pattern's wonderful, and everything that I'm going to say about is not really about the pattern at all. I'm going to make another one of these for sure. So when you start the hat, you knit a ways, doing your increases, and at some point you stop and measure your gauge to see how many stitches to an inch you have, and then you just, like, she doesn't tell you what needle size to use. She gives you a guide for, I think maybe it says like use fingering or DK. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter, because then she gives you like this chart that says if this is your gauge and you want to make this size, then you need this many stitches. It's amazing. I love it so much. I just think that's such a wonderful way to write a pattern. It makes it so versatile. So this is fingering weight. I measured 8 stitches per inch. Used the stitch count accordingly. And all was well until I felt, one, like it looked too big, and two, it looked like I was going to run out of yarn. I was at about 14 to 15. I was close to 15 stitches from the beginning instead of 19 and a quarter. And I just felt like I did not have enough yarn that I was going to be able to knit that many more stitches plus the crown. So I was like, why did I run out of yarn? Why don't I have enough? It does look big. Is the gauge right? And when I checked it last night, I was getting more like 7, higher up in the hat, like right where I was knitting, I was getting 7 stitches per inch. And I think that is just what happened. My gauge got looser. 2 possible reasons for that. 1, I always find that my gauge is a bit tighter at the beginning of a project, and I should just know going forward as I make these hats, I'm going to have to go down. Like I'm going to have to estimate like probably a half stitch or a whole stitch per inch. Bigger. Like, yeah, bigger than what I'm getting at that point, because my knitting is just a little bit too tight. Not too tight, but it's just not tighter at the beginning when I have nothing's hanging on it. It's just, I don't know. It's just what happens to me. I don't know if that happens to other people. So the second thing that might have affected it is I did switch needles. I had a smaller length cable needle than this, but it was too tight. And so I was getting these, I got this ladder. I decided to not rip that out just because I'm going to make this the inside, and so no one will ever see it. It's not that big of a deal. But I noticed it was happening, and I was frustrated with the short cable needle. And so I went to find a larger cable needle. I didn't actually want one this big, but I couldn't, for some reason, find one in this size. Is it a 2 or 3? It's a 2 millimeter, 2.7. 2 US 2.75 millimeter. I mean, I ordered this one. I don't know. I wasn't finding the right length. So before I do another muscle burra, I will be getting the right length cable needle. Definitely. So that I don't deal with the ladders, and I think it might keep my gauge more even if I didn't change the needles. So that being said, I'm still happy with this hat. Maybe I will put it on. That'll be a little bit weird. While I'm fixing this so I could put it on, what did I want to say? I don't know. I'm loving the process of knitting it. It's a great use for a skein of sock yarn that's just laying around, and you want a pretty thing with it besides socks. I mean, socks is good too, but sometimes it's just fun to make something different. And I always, I sit with my son while he falls asleep at night. Sorry, let me see if I can hide that. So while he's falling asleep, I will listen to an audiobook in my earbuds and knit on something that's plain stockinette. I can do plain stockinette. Anything else I can't do, but I can't crochet and I can't do other things. So already, because of this length, like it's not enough. Maybe it is enough to fold the brim. Oh, I thought I wasn't going to get that because I stopped early. So maybe it's okay. And it doesn't feel too big. I mean, yeah, it feels great. Forget everything I said. I don't know. Hey, and I guess I'm not following the pattern though, because I definitely didn't do the 19 and a quarter. But maybe that's supposed to give you the floppy in the back, and I don't actually want the floppy. This hat's great. I feel like I could give this away to another woman, and it would be like, I wouldn't feel bad about it. I am going to, I think, seam the two crowns together so that it doesn't come open if I give it to anyone else. One, because of the ladders, so they never are accidentally putting those on the outside, and two, so they're not confused. I mean, it's not like I did different colors and they could choose, you know, like if I had changed halfway and done one half of the hat one color and one half in the other, then maybe they would want to choose the different, like, reverse side to be out. But I'm so pleased. That was a happy, glad I tried it on again. That's the first time I've been able to fold the brim, probably just because I've gotten like an inch and a half of the crown done, gotten further along. That will be done in no time. It's going to be my primary knitting. I could do it in the dark now with the decreases, but sometimes I'll like forget, am I on a decrease row or not? So I probably won't. Which means I have nothing to knit in the dark right now, which is not a good way to be, because then I will just scroll on my phone while Michael's falling asleep, and I don't like to do that. So, but I'm not going to cast on anything new. I'll just have to be still. I can read on my Kindle while he's falling asleep on my phone. My Kindle is Paperwhite. Sometimes it's still too bright and bothers him. So on my phone, it's like the black screen with the white letters, and that seems to not bother him. So yay, my muscle brow. I'm so excited. It's going to be a real hat, one I can be proud of once I hide the ladders on the inside. Oh, so I'll have to think about what I said and whether I would change anything for next time or not. It's funny because multiple times I've doubted this pattern. Multiple times. And it's turned out right. So, there you go. Sometimes you just gotta trust the pattern. All right, you've seen this before. This is Matthew's heart blanket. Ooh, sorry. Let me get that muscle burr back out. It is Black Cat Fibers. Someday I will get into a rhythm with this. Black Cat Fibers in the Surtur single ply fingering. Do you think it's gonna grow? Do singles grow more when you block them? 70% superwash merino, 30% silk. I don't know. And the colorway is Dionysus. It's Dionysus? Nope. Wow. Okay. And I started that on May 28th. So it'll be a couple month project. It sat for quite a while and I was not working on it. It always was going to be a long term because for quite a while I would just keep it in Michael's room, and anytime I was knitting while he was sleeping, that's what I knit on. But now it's been moved out and it is being worked on at other times. And for a while I wasn't doing that at all. So that's why I didn't talk about it for a few weeks, was because I was not working on it. Okay, now I'm ready to move on to the Matthews heart blanket. I've made a bit of progress, but not a lot because I was finishing the other things. So I'm trying to find my fox. Here he is. Okay. So he doesn't want to turn around for you. One moment. He's so cute. He deserves to show his face. Okay. He still doesn't want to do it. I don't care. Okay. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors. Here he is. I got it in a kit. I don't know where from. I'm sorry. So I've made a little progress. I have decided, I originally thought I would do 4 repeats of the 12 colors. It's going to be only 3 because it's already too big. I mean, it's not already too big. That will be big enough. So if I've done this, I've done 5 of the last 12. So I'll have 7 more colors. I have not measured it. I can't hold it up until you can see the bottom. So it's pretty big. It'll be, yeah, I'll measure it for next time. The pattern said it would be 30 by 40, but this is not 30 inches wide. It's much wider, which is just typical for me. It just turns out different than what I plan, but I'm really liking it. So that's the Heart Blanket by Marina Nicolaidou. Still don't know how to say her name. I started that on July 3rd. Today's August 3rd, so it's been a month I've been working on that. The yarn is Stylecraft Highland Heathers, and I originally got it in a kit for an Attic 24 blanket, the fireside blanket, which I'm not going to make, even though it's beautiful. I really like the pattern. I just had some gauge issues, and I didn't want to run out of yarn because I had this kit, and I didn't think I had a lot of extra. So Stylecraft Highland Heathers DK, and I have quite a variety of colors. Oops. 12 colors plus the cream, or it's like an oatmeal color. Is it called oatmeal? It's called Rose. So when I finish this, I'm still going to have a lot of yarn left. I didn't check how many of the cream, which is probably information that I need before I decide the answer to this question. But for now, let's assume I have enough of the Rose. I started this before I started the Matthew Hart blanket. This is the Sweet Shop blanket. I don't remember the designer's name. I didn't write this down. A lot of people are making this right now. I love the finished object. Not loving the process of making it, I think. It would be a really cute baby blanket. So I was originally going to make it big, like adult size. But I think it would be really cute as a baby blanket, and probably with the amount of yarn I have left, that's the right choice. I don't love knitting blankets. They take a long time. They are nice when they're finished, but I don't love the process of making them. So let's see. I should probably measure how big these squares are. Let's do it right now. And then I could figure out how many I would need widthwise and lengthwise to make just a standard baby size. So they're 6.5 inches. 6.5. A little more, because I just measured 2 of them and I got 13.5. Almost 14. So let's say they're 7 inches. By the time I add more, maybe that's what will happen. So let's say 7 inches per square. So I'd only need like 5. Say we do like 35 inches wide. So I do 5 on the bottom, like maybe 5 by 6. So 5 by 6 would be 30 squares, right? And I've done 5 so far. So I'd have 25 squares to go. I will be thinking about it. That's dream knitting anyway. I just want to use up the yarn. I want to finish it up. So that's something I need to think about this week too, is do I have enough cream to do 30 squares total, or 25 more squares? And how much of the other colors is it going to use, or am I still going to have a bunch left? It could be my 6th charity. No, I won't be done in September. So we'll cross that off the list. I'm going to save it for dream knitting. No, I can move into dream knitting now. Okay. Speaking of dream knitting, and speaking of baby blankets, I realized, so I was making that pretty pink blanket for charity, and I was thinking I would really love to make another one of these. Who can I make a blanket for? My son has a blanket. We have a million house blankets. you know, my mom crochets blankets, my cousin crochets blankets, my aunt crochets blankets. So I feel like our family's covered. But on my husband's side, oh yeah, and my sister-in-law makes blankets for her kids. So I have three nephews on that side, and their mom makes them blankets. Very crafty side of the family, I'm realizing. On the other side, I have two nephews. My husband's sister has two nephews. I never made them a blanket. So it's possible that Sweet Shop blanket will be for one of them, and I could give it to them at Christmas. I think they would love that. And it's acrylic. It's easy to give to other people who don't craft and use wool. So that's great. And then the other, so they have two. I have, let me go get it. Okay, so I have this yarn in my stash. This is also a chunky weight, and I was thinking, or bulky weight, I guess. I keep saying chunky because that's the name of the yarn, but really I mean bulky. It's got a nice fluff on it. I had this in my stash. I had started a blanket with this, a baby blanket, and it was glorious. Set it down, went back, could not figure out what I was doing. Even looking at the pattern, I couldn't figure it out. So I ended up frogging it sometime later. So I could use that pattern that I did for it was the Bubbles baby blanket. And I think I would stripe them and potentially do every 2 rows so that I could carry the yarn up the side. Then I could do a border on the side to cover up the carried yarn, or I could just cut it and weave in the ends. It's not that big of a deal. So I have, I think 6. Do I have 3 of each color, or do I have 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6. So I have 3 of each color. One of the colors is 900. I think that's the gray. And the other color is 871. Maybe that's the white. I don't know which one's which, but those are the 2 colors, 871 and 900. And they are 100 grams with 128 yards. This is Cascade 128 Superwash. Oh, it is wool, but it's machine washable and dryable. So I think I'm okay with that. And yeah, so 128 yards times 6. And then, and what did I do for that? I think I used about that much. Did I write this down? Let's see how many yards did I use on the Bubbles baby blanket that was that size? Because I would make it smaller. That was, would I? Maybe not. 36 by 40 might be good. 2.64 skeins. So 6, maybe 700. So I think that would work out okay. This will not happen until I finished my other projects, but this would happen really fast. Like the other one, could be done in 4 days, and then I could potentially give it to one of my nephews for Christmas. So that's dream knitting. Sweet Shop blanket, potential dream knitting, but would be a longer project. It just takes a little longer to knit a blanket. So one other thing I had for dream knitting, I will just say really briefly. It feels like I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry if this is long. I've decided I am not going to continue with the mini stockings because I didn't love the process of making them. So they are cute, and having like a Christmas garland or something would be cute. I just don't want to keep making them. So I'm going to keep these 2 and use them either as ornaments on our tree or put them as on a gift. But for the rest of this bundle, which I've shown before, this is the Woolfolk, Blue Sky Fibers wool stock bundle. I might make some other things. I found some Christmas patterns, just more little things. Are they all going to be fiddly and drive me crazy? I don't know. There was a gnome, which would be really fun. I feel excited about that. I could also use those DK acrylic yarns for that gnome, because I do feel like I need a bigger amount. to make the body and stuff. I've wanted to make those gnomes a long time. And I think my aunt, my grandma, I can think of people who would love them for Christmas. My mom. So I don't want to make that many though. I like to make one stuffy every 6 months, and that's it. So then I found a wreath ornament I could do that would not use a lot, but those are small. They don't have a lot of yardage, so that might be good. And then this cute snowman too. Do I have enough white? I'm not sure, but I'm not, I thought about doing a cowl. I thought about doing hat. I thought about doing mitts. All of those are good options for that yarn. Except I've made so many of those things that not only do I have too many, I've given the majority of them away. So everyone around me already has cowls, scarves, hats, mittens, whatever that I've made. So, okay, this is Michael, my son. He's really wanting to meet all of you, and I've decided that's okay. So he wants to share one. He's wearing a knitted sweater. Do you like that sweater?
I had an orange sweater.
Yes. Go ahead, tell the story.
But then I put it in the washer because I would have wore that one. Because I put it in the washer. I would have wore this one, but...
You would have worn the orange one. That was your favorite.
Yeah, but then that one went in, and I like the blue one and this one, but I like this one...
Better than the blue one?
I like this one like the same as the blue one,
okay.
But...
Is the blue one's
just chose to wear
is it
this
still
one.
too big for you, or does it fit now?
I don't know.
Okay.
So this one Mom made for me.
Last year, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 years.
Maybe
Maybe 2 years.
when I was 7 or 6, because I just turned 8.
Yep. And it does look like it's getting a little bit tight on you. I need by Christmas to make you a new sweater.
Yay!
You can wear it for the fall, but I think Christmas time we need a new one.
When did you make me this sweater, Mom?
I think fall last. I don't know. I'll link to the project. I'm gonna guess 2023 is when I made it. So 2 years ago. Okay, so Michael wanted to share the project he's been working on.
Yeah, I started it like when I was like 6 years old, and then it's already been 2 years, so
yes,
I haven't worked on it really.
So this is a hat. This is the yarn. It's called Top This, and it has basically a stuffed animal that goes on in the place where the pom-pom would go.
Want to see it?
Yeah,
well, I'll show you anyway. Even if you don't.
Yep, it's a cute little goldfish. Michael loves fish, and he loves orange and blue. So this is
orange
a winter
and blue
project.
are my favorite color.
Right. Can you hold up the yarn for them? Sorry.
Sure.
Okay. Do you like it?
Yeah.
You excited to have that
It's
hat?
that orange and blue and white.
Will it still fit you when we finish?
I don't think so.
If not, it will fit someone else's head, right? Here, I'll hold it for you. Just 'cause
And then I have these.
Yeah, you want to hold it a little
What? I
closer?
still have Santa on. I still have my Christmas stuff on these. I'm gonna switch to a different one.
I got those in a Christmas box from...
Who? I forgot. Okay, I forgot.
I'll put it below because I just signed up for their Christmas box for this year.
Yeah.
Okay. And look, you have a penguin too for your
Yeah, I do.
mark in the beginning of the round. Anything else you want to say about this hat?
I want to show them this.
Oh, you want to show them your... Michael likes accessories.
Like stitch markers. I like knitting accessories. I just like really knitting accessories.
Yeah.
All I really like is knitting
And
accessories.
Fishing accessories. You love your fishing accessories.
Yes, I do. I have 2 little ghosts. Let me show you these. I'll show you my ones that I got.
Hold this so you can stand up. He's using this little notion pouch from Maybe a Crafted.
These ghosts.
So cute.
There they go. They're invisible now.
Do you still like those? Ghosts?
They're invisible.
Was there any other one in there? Oh, the kitty cat. I think I've shown them one of those before because I like those kitty cat stitch markers too.
I have some other ones. This one, which I didn't really...
Those are called light bulb stitch markers.
Yeah, I got in my light bulb stitch marker.
They're not as cute, but they're useful.
Yep, and then I have this, I think, a fruit bat.
Let me hold it just a little closer for you.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I sometimes get in accidents like that.
I know I will do. If I cover up my head, it should focus. Well, it's a fruit bat.
Yeah, I think it is. And then, last but not least, my favorite, the kitty cat.
Yeah. Looks like it's being carried by its mama, right?
Yeah.
So cute. Okay. Anything else you want to say?
No, I think I am.
Okay. You want to come back again next week and talk about another item?
I'll see you guys next week.
Maybe you can wear your blue sweater next week.
Oh, yeah. I'll wear my blue sweater next week.
And maybe you can talk about a book.
Okay.
Okay. That'll be something to look forward to. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Let's talk about books. If you are only here for the knitting and crochet, thank you for being here. And I will see you next week. And we'll move on to books. One second. Okay, so books. I finished Blackwood's Blue Sky by Yoan Ivey, and I liked it. I said last time I was going to finish it and say that was weird, and I did. That was weird. So it's like a modern retelling of a fairy tale. Not like a mainstream fairy tale, I wouldn't say, but it's not like an uncommon storyline. It's more like, it's kind of folksy, fairy tale-ish. So it may be like kind of Scandinavian. Actually, I think it had ties to a Russian fairy tale, if I'm remembering correctly. About basically a man being a bear. It's like he could be either or at any given time. So it was weird, and the ending was a little bit my friend says, I want my ending tied up with a nice bow. It didn't have that quality for me. It felt like there was like a lot of effort put into that ending. It didn't just flow and happen. Like, it wasn't the natural ending I don't even know what I was expecting, but it didn't feel natural to me. It felt a little forced, but it was good enough that I went on to read The Snow Child by Yoan Ivey. And I loved that. It refers to the fairy tale about a husband and wife who are older and have had no children, but they wanted children, and they, through magic, fairy tale-ish things, a child comes to be. And it's the story of their lives together. It was lovely. I would read that again in a heartbeat. It was really lovely. I would definitely recommend that one. Same author, which is why they both have that fairy tale theme. So, okay. Another hard copy book that I'm reading is The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. This is about there's an uncle demon writing to his nephew, giving him advice. Demonly advice about tempting humans. I've read it before. It's a classic and valuable book. Yeah, so I'll talk about it again. I'm going to read it really slowly. I'm just reading 1 or 2 letters a day, and there's so much in each letter to think about that I like to then leave myself space for the rest of the day to think about it. So that's good. I'm reading All the Lost Places by Amanda Dykes, which is a Christian book. She's written a lot of Christian fiction, but this is my first one of hers. And it has a historical fiction element. I love historical fiction. but I would say I'm like medium interested in it. So we'll see as it progresses if I get sucked in a little more. I'm just really enjoying my knitting time, and there I go through ups and downs where it's like I want to read all the time, and then there's I want to knit all the time. So I want to knit and finish projects right now. So it's just I'm moving a little slower on it, which is probably why I'm not as into it. And my son and I just listened to The Sign of the Beaver by Elizabeth George Spear, and it's really good so far. It's it's probably like a middle grade novel about a boy in like on the western frontier who was left on their claimed property to guard it while the dad went back to get the rest of the family. And it's good. I can just tell we're going to love it. It's the kind of book that Michael and I really enjoy. We both like historical fiction. We love American history. We love, just the wilderness and the, like, I guess books where kids kind of have to do things for themselves, and it's good. So that's that. Hopefully that one will be finished by next week, because I would really like to spend some time reading it. Not sure about any of my others, just because I'm really wanting to knit all the things, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to try and do a life update. This is getting really long, so I apologize for the length of this video. There's so much I want to talk about, and I have a lot of projects going on, so I guess that's why. But you can turn me off at any time. So the next section is life update, but it is knitting related, crochet related. But I'm just yammering about things that happened to me. So last weekend, it was last Saturday, Friday and Saturday, my cousin and I went. She came here. She lives a few hours away. She came here, and she and I just had a day of basically a yarn crawl. The Chicago yarn crawl started the next day. So this happened this last week. I'm guessing yesterday was the last day. Maybe today is. It was kind of funny. We did our yarn crawl ourselves the day before the Chicago yarn crawl started. We went to 3 yarn shops and a bookshop / cafe, which is one of my favorite places to go. So we went first to Townhouse Books and had lunch. I'll have pictures and things of where we went. This place is wonderful. I'm guessing it was an old home. I don't know. Was it an old home? Half of it is the cafe and the other half is the bookshop, and you just like wind through stacks of books, room to room. And there's this beautiful nook for the children's books, and it's so fun. So we went in, put down our name. It was a half-hour wait, and then we wandered in the bookstore for a half hour, and then they come into the bookstore to call your name because they know where you'll be. No one waits by the door there. Everyone's in the bookstore. So that's really fun. And then they have this, it's like, I would say perfect lunch food. Sandwiches, salads, soups. I can tell because every time I go there, people are ordering dessert. It seems like a lot of good desserts, and I think they're homemade. I have yet to enjoy their homemade desserts, and I think the menu of the desserts changes all the time, so it's like whatever they're making right then. So that's fun. I have not done it myself, but I usually get a decaf latte, and I think I've gotten salads. I've got their hummus plate. I've gotten their tuna sandwiches, and everything is good. So it's fun. Then we left that. We went to Wool and Company yarn shop. I only bought one thing, and my cousin bought one thing. Just a moment. We both got a self-striping yarn, Earth Yarns unique sock kit. Hers is so pretty. Oof. It's gorgeous. I'll see if I can find some pictures. I got Christmassy, and I will just put this in my Christmas bin and wait, and it's literally red and green stripes. Oh, this could be really cute for the gnome hat. I'll have to think about that. That was fun. Then we went to, that's all we got there. I'll put some pictures of that shop. It is my favorite yarn store. It's quite a distance from my house, so I go there a few times a year still. It's worth the drive. I do love it there. Then we went to String Theory, and I had several gift certificates that I had not used from multiple Christmases, and I used them all up, which was my goal. And I got yarn for, I got some yarn for my cousin. It was her birthday too, so some of the gift cards went towards that. But I also got Blue Sky Fiber sweater worsted in Moonlight 7507. I got 5 of these for a sweater for my friend's son, 10-year-old son, I think. So this is cotton wool blend. Yeah, it's 55% superwash wool, 45% organic cotton, machine washable. She knows how to care for wool items, but still nice to be machine washable. So I got those. And then I got this Barocco Renew. I'm going to show a different one because the price tag is like covering up the other label. Barocco Renew, which is 35% viscose. Isn't that bamboo, or bamboo's rayon? 35% viscose, 30% wool, 30% nylon, and 5% cashmere. It is nice. This will be, I had to buy a lot of them because they're only 50 grams, right? They're 50 grams, 164 yards. I may have overdone it. Why did I buy that many? Why did I think I would need that many? Oh well. It's for a sweater. Why did I think I would need that many? I didn't do the math. 100. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Why did I think I would need that many? It's for a 6-year-old boy sweater. I feel like I could make a sweater for myself with this, right? I'll use the leftovers for something else, obviously. Yeah, or maybe I'm adding that up, right? I don't know. 1,000 yards? I bought 11, right? Yeah, I bought 11. Why did I think I needed that many? Sometimes I don't do math under pressure well. I mean, sometimes I don't do math without any pressure well. So that's what happened there. And then the last shop we went to is Idea Studio. And we used to have, yeah. Long story short, this is basically my local yarn shop. This is primarily where I go for yarn. And it has a lovely mix of economy yarns and hand-dyed luxury yarns. It's great. I really like this store. It has yarn. I can always go there and find things. For some reason at String Theory, I really struggle to find things. I knew I could get sweater stuff there for the boys, so I was saving my gift cards for that to use at String Theory. But I primarily like to make socks and blankets, and it's just not the right place for me. I love self-striping, or like economy yarns for blankets. I like to make sweaters too, but even then I have a hard time finding enough of the colors I want. I don't know, String Theory I just don't have a lot of luck with. So those are the places we went. The rest of our weekend was also lovely. We came back, we got our hair trimmed, we came back with our Chipotle dinners, and we crocheted. We worked on those crochet socks together. We started the one with the circular toe together. We watched, was it Emma? We watched Emma together, based on the Jane Austen book. We got up the next morning, went to church together. We crocheted some more. It was great. I highly recommend doing that. No other responsibilities, just have a knitting or crochet friend to spend some time together with. What a blessing. It was really nice. So that is that. That's my life update. Last thing I wanted to share, I bought this off Amazon. It's only $5 or $6. I am using these a lot for crochet. I don't think I would use this much for knitting because even this thickness, I find can create ladders in my knitting. I really need those the wire light bulb stitch markers for if I'm like marking in between stitches. Then I get no ladders or like space between them. But for some reason, with anything bigger than that, I have trouble with that. So, but this is really good for marking my blankets. And I was just finding I needed them here in this project and in this project and in this project. And I just was spread a little bit thin. And for $5, $6, it's hard to say no. So I said yes. So that is that. I will have links to all of my projects and the things that I shared in the description below. If you have anything you can't find, just let me know. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking around as long as you did. If you've made it here to the end, I'm very impressed. Okay, that is all. Have a great week or weeks. I don't know when I'll be back. In the fall, I'll have more consistent, hopefully weekly podcasts. But right now, we're squeezing it in when the time is available. So, yay, have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.